Podcast number 10, Breaking Free from Insecurity. Have you ever felt that you aren't good enough, that you don't quite measure up to others, or that no matter how hard you try, you still seem to fall short? Do you ever find yourself worrying that others will judge you or think less of you? These feelings of self-doubt and insecurity are things that many of us experience, but the good news is that you can break free from them. Today, I want to talk about how insecurity affects our lives and how we can take steps to overcome it and live with more confidence, self-worth, and joy. Insecurity often stems from comparing ourselves to others. You may look at someone who seems more successful, smarter, or better looking and think, "I'll never be like that." This kind of comparison can make us feel inadequate and can damage our self-esteem. Imagine, for instance, that you're at work and a colleague gets praised for doing something really well. Instead of feeling happy for them, you might start doubting your own abilities. Why didn't I think of that? Am I not good enough? Over time, these thoughts can weigh heavily on you. But here's the thing. Everyone's journey is different, and comparing yourself to others is like comparing apples to oranges. Just because someone excels in one area doesn't mean that you aren't talented in another. Think of it like this. A fish isn't less valuable than a bird just because it can't fly. You have your own unique strengths and talents, even if you don't always see them right away. One way to start breaking free from insecurity is to stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on your own path, your own progress, and what you bring to the table. Take a moment to think about your strengths. What do you do well? What have you achieved that you can be proud of? It could be something as simple as being a good listener, being kind, or showing up for people when they need support. These are strengths that make you unique and valuable. Insecurity also often shows up as a fear of failure. You might hesitate to try new things because you're afraid you won't succeed. Maybe you want to start a new hobby, but you keep telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll fail if I try." This fear can hold you back from living the life you truly want. For example, let's say you've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar, but every time you pick it up, you worry that you won't be able to master it. You might think, "What if I try and fail? People will laugh at me." But here's the truth. Everyone starts somewhere, and nobody is perfect right away. Even the best musicians had to practice and make mistakes before they became great. One powerful way to overcome insecurity is by changing your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid at all costs, see it as a stepping stone to success. Failure is not the end of the road. It's part of the journey. Every time you fail, you learn something valuable, and that's how you grow. Think about a time when you tried something and didn't succeed right away. What did you learn from that experience? Maybe it taught you patience, persistence, or how to approach a problem differently. Failure is a teacher, not an enemy. Another key to overcoming insecurity is surrounding yourself with supportive people. Often, insecurity grows when we are around people who make us feel less than, whether intentionally or not. Imagine you have a group of friends who are always critical, who point out your flaws or make fun of your mistakes. It's no wonder you might start feeling insecure. But when you're around people who lift you up, who remind you of your worth, it becomes much easier to believe in yourself. Think of it like this. If you plant a seed in healthy soil, water it, and give it sunlight, it will grow strong and flourish. But if you plant that same seed in dry, rocky soil and don't care for it, it will struggle to grow. The same is true for you. If you're in an environment where people support and encourage you, your confidence will grow. But if you're in a negative environment, it's much harder to feel good about yourself. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, and let their positivity help you grow. Now, let's talk about the benefits of breaking free from insecurity. Imagine how different your life could be if you weren't held back by self-doubt. What would you do if you weren't afraid of failing or being judged? Maybe you'd pursue a dream job, start a business, or travel to new places. When you let go of insecurity, you open up a world of possibilities. You start to take risks, try new things, and step out of your comfort zone. And that's when the magic happens. That's when you discover your true potential. Think about someone you admire, someone who seems confident and successful. Chances are, they didn't get to where they are without taking risks and facing their insecurities. They probably failed many times before they succeeded. But they kept going because they believed in themselves, and you can do the same. When you start to trust in your abilities, you'll find that you're capable of much more than you ever thought possible. Overcoming insecurity doesn't happen overnight. It's a process and it takes time. But every small step you take toward believing in yourself is a step in the right direction. Maybe today, you'll challenge a negative thought and replace it with a positive one. Maybe tomorrow, you'll try something new, even if it scares you. And little by little, you'll start to see the changes in yourself. It's important to be kind to yourself on this journey. You won't always get it right, and that's okay. Building confidence and self-worth is a lifelong process. But as long as you keep moving forward, you're on the right path. Remember that you are enough, just as you are. You have value, you have strengths, and you have the power to overcome insecurity. As we come to the end of this podcast, I want you to ask yourself, what's one thing you can do today to start breaking free from insecurity? Maybe it's setting a small goal, speaking kindly to yourself, or taking a step towards something you've always wanted to try. Whatever it is, know that you have the strength to do it. You are capable, you are worthy, and you deserve to live a life filled with confidence and joy. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. I hope it has inspired you to believe in yourself a little more and to start taking steps toward overcoming insecurity. Remember, you have everything you need within you to live a life full of confidence, strength, and self-love.